So moving on with other transformations. Yesterday we saw how to split a table into multiple tables, right? But when you want to append one table with other table, so I want to append these two tables together to form your whole data set. Okay, how will you do it? In SAS base, you use either proc append or you use SQL outer union correlation, whatever, right? Here you can do that with append transformation. So you can just drag and drop append, and you can link your two source table. It's not that you need to append only two tables together. You can append multiple tables. Okay, this is similar to the mentioning of dataset names in your set statement. Okay, it doesn't restrict you to mention n number of datasets, not only to two. Okay, the same way you can link n number of data sets and append them together as a target table. If you look at the code that is auto generated, just go to the transformation properties, go to the code tab, go down, you can see simple set statement which we generally use in SAS base, right? The step says by default it's complete because uh, you don't have any issue in terms of columns. Okay, the complete structure is similar.
Yes.
Okay. So if the complete structure is not similar, then you can go for renaming of your columns. Okay, which we'll cover in our later sessions. Okay, how to modify the structure of a table, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So I want to execute only this particular transformation. You go with debug, run selected transformation. So will this work, or will you get data in your target table? This one, this target table, will you get data if I straight away run this only this transformation?
Mm, no, actually, because we didn't save the splitter output in.
Correct, exactly. So splitter output is a temporary table.
Yes.
Okay, so we need to run from this splitter transformation, right? So go to the debug and then you can use run from selected transformation till the end.
Okay.
Here you can see the status, whether it is completed successfully or is it in progress, so on and so forth, right? Here you can just right click on the table, click on open. Here you can see female data. The first table should be female. You go to the last record. The last set is male
Mail.
stuff. Okay. So it is just a blind append, okay, without any conditions.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
So let me change this to use formats. That is pretty much about appending a table. Now if you want to compare one table with other table, so you can go with compare table transfer procedure in SAS base, right? Proc compare base equal to
Yes.
something, compare equal to something, id something, variable something, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you want to do it on DA Studio, you can go with compare tables transformation. Let me show you two tables which got some less volume of data. Okay, so we have students 2 and students 3 table. It's a duplicated one. Moros, okay. Yes, now you can see based on S name,
Mm-hmm.
you can see the comparison where Archana got 78, Harsha 32. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
here you got 17 for that. And there are a
Yeah.
couple of differences in these two data sets. Now I want
Yeah.
to compare them based on S name with marks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's the scenario. Let's see how to do that. So coming out of the examples that we saw yesterday, the data sets and all. So we are using students as our master table, base table, for example, and students 2 as our compare table, right? And going to the compare tables transformation, whatever be the first table that you are linking it to compare tables in the first input port. Here you can see two ports. First
Uh-huh.
input port is by default taken as base. Second input port is compare,
Comp
right? So here you can
yes.
see couple of 4 data sets. So
Mm-hmm.
generally in this one SAS base, you will not get these many data sets, these many
Yeah.
outputs. Here you got
Yeah.
much more flexibility. So you point your cursor on each work table, it gives you the details. It's not showing. The tooltip should be shown actually.
Okay.
Tooltip is not showing. Anyhow, if you select the table, you can see changed records. Second table, new records. Third table, unchanged records. Fourth one, missing records.
Okay.
Okay, so if there are any new records added in student 2 will be routed to second table, right? If there are any
Yes.
changed records based on some comparison that we mentioned inside the properties of compare tables transformation that will be routed to first table.
That's
As
yeah.
per the logic, okay, all these tables will be populated with data, right? So the step
Mm-hmm.
says it is still incomplete. The reason being you didn't mention any property. Based on this
Yes.
column, I need to compare. So for
Mm-hmm.
mentioning that, go ahead with
Right.
changing the properties of compare tables. Click on compare tables tab. Here you can see what is the source column that you are planning to match the column on target. That is based on S name I am planning to compare, and what column should I compare? Values. That is my marks. So you can just move that to right side. So if they are having same names, you can straight away use the same name, or you can go with multi other name as well. So if the comparison
Yeah.
column is having a different name, so you can click on
Mm-hmm.
this button, you can select the column name straight away.
Okay.
If you look at the code that is auto generated, go down, you can see here it will not use proc compare. It is using advanced SAS concept called hash objects. Okay, you might have heard about this. They give you better performance when compared to your traditional either proc compare or proc SQL, right? So this is opted. Just click on OK. Now let's compare these two tables. Here the step says it is complete. Run only this transformation. For debug, run selected transformation. So here it got successfully completed. The first one, you can see couple of change records. Harsha should definitely be there in that because it is a change record.
Yes.
You got 17 and in the first table
Okay.
might be 25 something, I don't remember, right?
Something. Yeah.
So if there are any new records, there are a couple of more records in student 2. So they will be
Oh,
routed
yes.
to second data set. Third one, you have any unchanged records.
Common.
So some common records, okay, where S name as well as marks are same.
Yeah.
Last one is the missing records, which is there in first table but not there in second table. Subhash is there in first table and Subhash is missing in second table, it seems. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see whether Subhash is there here. Hey, Subhash is there. Oh, might be it is there in second table but not there in first table. Yes, that is a missing record in master table. That is routed to last data set, right? All
Yes.
these are temporary tables. If you want to make them permanent, the same story again. Just go ahead and
Yeah.
register the table and it creates a copy on physical path, or it could be a database table also.
Yes.
That is pretty much about comparison of two data sets. Moving on, I want only subset of records from a table. In SAS base, how will you do it? You can either go with where clause, as you told yesterday. So dataset set inside dataset option, you can give where country code equal to, for example, Australia, like that. That is one way. Second way, prox equal, select star from so and so, where customer country code equal to AU or US, whatever. That is second way. If you want to go for group by, you can use prox equal straight away, right? Or you
Yes.
can use prox sort by. It is automatically grouped. You can write functions or whatever be the aggregation functions that you are looking at inside data step.
Mhm.
Okay. So this entire stuff can be done using a simple transformation called extract in SAS BI platform, SAS DA platform, sorry. So extract, it extracts the data as well as subsets, groups, create new expressions within the same transformation. Okay, for example, I am looking at some case when statement. You can very well do that inside extract transformation as an expression. Okay,
Okay.
so just drag and drop this extract transformation. For example, I am going to calculate here two objectives for me. First objective is to filter out the records only for Australia. Second objective, I need a new column which gives me average of customer age based on customer country.
Mhm.
Okay, so these two objectives. So
Okay.
I need two different transformations for doing this one. So let us start with extracting subset of records first, and then we go with grouping later. So just link this source table and target table to extract transformation, because we got customer country inside this table, right? So I want to filter out only Australian records. So I know that the unformatted value is AU for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can write a filter condition inside extract transformation now. So by default, it didn't show you any error. The reason being,
Just like that as it is, like without any
yeah,
filters.
without any filter condition, it routes all the records to the target. That's the default mechanism. So you want to
Yes.
mention a filter condition, just double click on this. Go to here, you see where clause, group by clause, order by clause. Same as SQL clauses. Go
Okay.
to where clause. Here you see the expression builder again. Correct?
Yes.
So I am not sure whether they are uppercase or lowercase or proper case. So you can go with functions the same way which we saw yesterday, or if you are comfortable with coding, you can straight away type the formula, type the function, and then use customer country, close that, equals to AU or AF, whatever. So if you go to the code, you can see a SQL generated with a where clause. Right? You can click on OK. Try to run this transformation alone. Let's see whether we'll get Australian records in the target. We got Australian records. There are only 4001 records. So go to the last record, you should see only Australia in its customer country column. Right? This is one objective which we can do from extract. The second objective is I want to group by customer country and I want to get the average of customer age.
Yes.
Yeah. So customer age is an existing column. Average of customer age is a new column. Right? So in the target table, you will have only customer country and the average of customer country, 2 columns.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm just dragging and dropping extract transformation. One more. Route your target of previous transformation to this extract. Here, you go to the properties of work table. Just right click on work table, go to the properties.
Okay.
Go to the columns tab. By default, you see all the columns from source are routed to target. Click on columns, you can see all the columns. But I don't need all columns. So I am just selecting one column and you can use this delete option.
Okay.
Yeah, or you can use delete key on your keyboard as well. So select all the columns that you don't need using shift and control keys. You can right click, you can delete.
But we need age, right? Check average.
Sorry?
Okay, yeah. We need average of age, so.
Yeah, so we need a new column now.
Yes.
Okay, either you can rename that customer age column, that is one way, or you can create a new column. Both are same. So just right click on the portion. Here you can see new column option.
Okay.
Just click on new column. Average of customer age. So is it numeric or character? So if you want label for this column, you can mention some description over here. Obviously averages are numeric in nature. So just change the data type to numeric. Length, format, informative if you want, you can specify. Then click on OK. So we got 2 columns in our target. Now it's the time for defining an expression to the new column. Just go to extract, double click on that. So if you want to use average, so you need to group by something, right? So you go for group by clause here, extract based on customer country. I am going to group it. Here you are able to see only 2 columns. Customer name or customer gender is not shown to you. The reason being,
we already applied the filters in the table properties. We have changed.
That's fine. But I want to group by customer gender and I want to get average. Can I do that?
Yeah, because while reading extracting, we are reading them, but I mean we have access to the table. But we
are putting them in group by clause, then you should definitely use that in your select clause.
Yes.
Okay, that's the reason only customer country is shown to you here, not all the columns from the source.
Yes.
So group by customer country, and we didn't write any expression, the average of customer age. So where will you do that? Any guess? Which tab we are supposed to do that?
Where clause?
Where clause?
Average, okay.
Where clause is actually just for filtering, right? Subsetting.
Yeah.
You cannot create a new column. Okay. So that is taken care by mappings tab over here.
Mappings, okay.
Okay. So here you can see automatically the similarly identical columns. Customer country is mapped to customer country over here, right? It is automatically mapped. If they are having same column names, they are automatically mapped from source to target. Yeah. So this one doesn't have any mapping. Here you need to write your own expression. So where will you write? You can just see an expression tab over here. If you move right side, right? So you can just click on that. Here you can see a button. Just click on that. You want to choose columns or you want to write your expression. Writing advanced expression, you can go with advanced, or if you want to straight away use some column name, you can use choose columns.
Okay.
But I don't need column name straight away. I want to apply some formula. So you go with advanced. Again you will see expression builder. Okay. So what is the function? I'm not sure about the function. Just go to functions tab. Here you can see aggregate functions. Just double click on aggregate. Here you can see average of something, mean of something, whatever be the function that you are looking at. Just double click on that. Go to the data sources. Average of what? Average of customer age. So here you don't need right hand side expression. Right? Just click on OK. So here you see average of customer. But still you can see an yellow color exclamatory symbol. The reason being, where is this column being populated with? So from customer age, it is being calculated, right? So you need to link this customer age to a new column. Then the warning goes off. Okay. Exclamatory symbol with red color triangle, yellow color triangle. That is just a warning. So even if you run this transformation, you will get missing value as average customer age. If you don't map this customer age to average customer age.
Okay.
So before you run a transformation, you need to ensure that you have proper mappings to the target columns. Okay. Otherwise, you will get missing values. Even if you have the column created, but they will be populated with missing values. Right?
Yes. Okay.
Just click on. Now let us see the code that is generated. Just go down here. You can see average of customer age as customer average customer age. Inside proxy SQL, it is creating a new calculate member as well as grouping by. Just click on OK now. Try to run this transformation alone. Just click on debug. Run selected transformation. Now if you try to open this table, click on open. Here you should see Andorra followed by customer age average. Here I am able to see multiple digits after decimal point. If I want only 2 digits after my decimal point, how can I restrict them?
We can apply the format.
Correct. So in the properties pane, in the columns, we define the column names, right? New column name in the table, table properties.
Yes.
Go to the columns pane. Here you can see format is not applied. So here you can mention something dot something. For example, some 20.2. Now if you try to open the table, you can see only 2 digits after your decimal point. So this is used heavily in real-time scenarios, extract transformation, because for calculating a new variable, you are using extract transformation. So even though you don't filter the condition, even though you don't group by, the same is the case with the calculated character-based variables also. Okay, so let us take some other scenario here. I want first 3 characters of customer name in a new column. Okay, so there you don't need to group by. You can straight away pull all the records from source table and create a target table. So let us do that now. Just drag and drop extract, link your source table, along with all the columns, I need one more column, right? Just right click on the properties of target of work table. Here, just right click and then go ahead with part of name.
Customer.
So I know that it's a character based. If you want, you can reduce the length to 3. Okay. Then click on OK. So you can go to extract the same way. Straight away, you don't need to mention any of these clauses.
Yeah, just map.
Go to the mappings pane.
Everything is mapped.
Here you see part of name. You can write an expression the same way you wrote the average of customer age earlier. Just click on advanced. So if you're comfortable with the function, you can straight away use substr, or you can go with character based functions over here. Just go down here, you can see substr. You want to extract or you want to replace right hand substr or left hand substr. Right. Just click on substr, extract. From which column we should pull the characters?
Customer
Go to
name.
data sources. We are looking at customer name. So just double click on that. So here
Customer.
number value. So which position onwards? First position to, for example, 3. So it depends on your requirement whether you want to go with 1 to 3 or 5 to 3, whatever. Okay. 5 to 3 means starting from 5th position, pull 3 characters. Right. So you can validate your expression whether it is syntactically correct using this validate expression tab.
Okay.
So your expression says it is valid. If it is invalid, you can see the log and verify what is going wrong, whether I am missing any quotations, single quotation or double quotations, and then place them accordingly. So do you want to display the log? As it is valid, I don't need to see the log. So I'm just clicking on no, then click on OK. Here it still shows warning. Yeah, so this should be mapped from customer name. So you can select customer name and map it to part of name. So it is not mandatory that you need to have only one-to-one mapping from source to target. Just click on OK now. Now try to test run this transformation alone. Click on run selected transformations. Try to open this table. Here you go to the customer name column. Here you see Virender Singh. So here you should see Veer and some first 3 characters of other records as well. Correct?
Yes. So
that is the use of extract transformation, okay, which is heavily used.
Yeah, okay.
So moving on, any questions so far?
I just have the basic question actually, as you mentioned earlier in the DI Studio, we'll have something called process flow and objects. So each and every job from starting to end is called a process flow, right? As far as I know.
So sort 29th July is a job.
Okay.
Okay, inside July you have 2 process flows.
Yeah, so one with students.
This is no. This is one process flow.
Yeah, from start to end.
No, not from starting to end. So the first one, first set is independent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like for customer dimension 6, it's completely process.
So this is one process flow.
Yeah.
The top one is one process flow.
Okay.
2 process flows are there inside job.
Okay.
Inside each process flow, each object is called a process.
Okay.
Source is a process, target is a process, transformation is a process. Okay. That is just a naming convention. Okay. Nowhere you will be using that, but still.
Okay.
Any other questions before we move on?
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool. Now let's see how to rank a data set. I want to rank students based on their marks. In SAS base, how you do that? Couple of ways. You use proc sorting based on marks and probably give the number underscore n underscore, you assign that to first record, second record accordingly. So the rank is populated in a new column. That is one way. Or you can go with ranking procedure, proc rank, second way. Or you can use SQL monotonous function. That is third way. Right?
Yes.
So here in DA Studio you can use a rank transformation. So just drag and drop rank. For example, I want to rank the students inside student 2 table. Just link this table to rank, and I want a new column to be created for rank. So in the target table, go to the properties of target columns, right click, go ahead and create a new column called ranking. Rank. Okay. So rank is obviously numeric in nature, so I'll just mention it as numeric. Then click on OK. So based on which column I am planning to rank. So those details are mentioned in rank transformation properties. So you go to rank variables column. Here you see based on which column, marks column, rank should be populated in which column, rank column here. And if you want to rank based on department, for example, you got a data of university, you want to see the individual ranks of ECE guys, EEE guys, civil, mechanical, like that. So that is grouping. Inside each branch, who got first, who got second, like that. If you want it that way, you need to use the first tab, second tab, sorry, rank by columns. Okay, we'll see that in a while. So time being, we are seeing all the records irrespective of groups. Then click on OK. Here you try to run this job now. Run this transformation alone. If you look at the properties, you sort based on marks. Okay. Here, who got less marks got first rank, which is not what we are looking at. The one who got more marks should be ranked 1. So that should be actually descending order of ranking. So where should you mention this property? So that is mentioned in rank properties options tab. So you go to options. Here you see change rank direction. Change that to ascending or descending. Ascending is by default. Select descending. Then if you look at the code that is auto generated, it uses proc rank. Here you can see proc rank. Okay. Then click on OK. So try to run this transformation alone. Now you should see, just click on this, it will be ascending order wise sorted based on the triangle you can see. You want to descending order, you can just double click on that, it will be shown with descending order. So if they are ties, average of the ranks are taken by default. So if you don't want average, if you want minimum or maximum rank to be given to all the ties, you can just mention that in the properties itself. Okay. So near that rank direction, you can see when ties are there, what should be taken? Min is taken by default. You want minimum value, that is low value or high value. Low value means 1 will be given. High value means 2 will be given. Yeah, okay. For both the records, right? Yeah. So here we don't have any separations based on groups, right? Developers, and nothing group, they both are clubbed to give you ranking criteria.
So overall,
They want grouping wise ranking. Developers who got first, nothing group who got first.
yeah.
For that, you just need to use this rank by columns. Using group, I need to group by, and rest all the procedure is same. Okay, you need to rank based on marks, and I need to populate rank with actual rank value. Rest all are same. You should get an error. So can you guess what is an error? What is that error? So probably here you can see this here and tell. So we are grouping means we are using by statement, right? So if you are using by statement, what is the prerequisite?
You have to use the proc sort.
Correct. So you need to sort the data first before you proceed with grouping.
Group.
Yeah. So let's see whether the data is sorted, then we will not have any issues. Otherwise we need to sort that explicitly. Let's try to run this one. Okay, it is already in sorted order. So we don't need to worry about that. Here you can see developer got first rank, nothing also got first rank. Correct?
Yes. So by group we got rank.
Yeah. Just a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Any question?
Good. So I mean by default, as the data is sorted, we don't have any issue, but we need to take care of that.
Yeah.
Adjustment. So what we need to do for that part?
Same thing. Whatever we discussed, you just need to put together. So just remove this. Go for sorting. Link this to source table.
And
Output of this, route it to rank.
Okay.
Right? Clear? Any questions?
I'm good.
Okay, cool. Now moving on, what are some basic transformations? So we are almost done with the basics. Let's move on with a little bit complex transformations, like how to join two or more tables.
Okay.
In the same library, in the Orienstar library, if you see, I have my customer dimension table. Customer dimension table is there. Product dimension table. Organization dimension table. Time dimension table. In the center, you got order fact table.
Okay.
So this is your star schema design, right?
Hmm.
So you got central fact table surrounded by one table for each dimension. Okay. So we covered that in our data warehouse concept session. Okay. If you are not comfortable with that concept, you can just go through that before tomorrow session. Okay.
Okay.
So just to brush up what we covered, this is the transaction table, which is called fact table, which contains numeric attributes mostly. Do you have any idea about this fact table and dimension table? Then we can probably proceed.
Yeah, I mean basic idea I have.
Okay. So vaguely talking. So you can say numeric attributes in fact table, character based attributes in dimension tables. So they are joined using dimension table keys. They are also called surrogate keys, right? Now, if you look at order fact table, try to open that order fact and you can see customer ID is there. If you move on, you can see quantity, total retail price, cost per unit price, and if there are any discounts. So they are all numeric attributes. Each and every transaction done by each customer, they are noted down here in this fact table. Customer table doesn't have any transaction related stuff. If you observe here, if you open, it contains only the details about customer table, customer, that's it, customer demographics. Okay, where is he from, what is his name, what is his birth date, what is his age, which group he belong to, okay, all this stuff, but nothing related to the transactions that he did. Sorry. Okay. So whatever he did, they are placed in fact table over here. Now, when you want to get data based on something, customer country wise, what is my quantity sold, for example, then you definitely need to join these two tables, right? Product wise, you want quantity ordered, so you need to join order and product. Time wise, year wise, I need to see what my quantity of, what my average of quantity or total retail price standard deviation. Then you need to join order fact table with time dimension, right? So the reason why I am telling this one is the use of join transformation. On DA Studio, you got a couple of transformations to join two or more tables. First one is SQL join. Second one is lookup transformation. Okay. We'll see the difference little later. Why SAS Institute came up with two transformations. Okay. So now let me get customer country wise quantity sold. Sum of quantity, for example, average of total retail price, that's what I am expecting. So let us drag and drop fact table, dimension table. Again, the same story continues. If the table is not there here in this library and you are given a requirement saying that join these two tables together and you are not able to see the table within that library that is mentioned in the business requirement document or functional specification document, then you definitely need to go for registration of the table. Yes. Right? If the library itself is not there, you need to get in touch with your administrator to create a library for you. Yes. Now I need to join these two tables. Go to the transformations pane. Here you can see SQL join. This is one. Just drag and drop SQL join. Drag and drop your order fact table first port, customer dimension table as the second port. The step says it is complete because the common keys are having same column names. Okay, that's the reason they are automatically joined. Okay. Okay. Otherwise, this should be still red color. Yes. Okay. Now, I am looking at only customer country and quantity total retail price. So you can just right click on the work table, go to the properties, go to the columns. Here you can see all the columns from both the tables. But I don't need all. I am expecting only, for example, customer country wise, gender wise, and whatever I don't need, I am just deleting them. So you want to change the order. Customer country should be there on top. So you can use this move columns up, move columns down option.
Okay.
Move columns up, customer gender, move column to the second position.
Okay.
So this is what I am expecting. Then you can click on OK. Now, how is the join condition taken? For example, the column names are different. How will you join these two tables based on keys? Now we'll see that. Just double click on SQL join. It contains many sub transformations. Select, where, group by, sub transformations. When you double click on SQL join, you can see sub transformations like this. Join. When you select join, here you can see what is the type of join it is taking. Inner join. If you want left outer join, you can go with left. So here you see accordingly the circle is filled with color. Left or right or full, whatever. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And you want all the columns, just select, just double click on the select. You can see what columns are being mapped. Okay, we deleted out all the columns that we don't need, right? And if at all you are expecting some kind of expression, okay, in SQL join you use select customer country comma customer gender comma some sub-str of customer name. For example, so you want to write an expression or you want to write a case when statement. Okay, for example, I am planning to create a case when statement here. When customer gender is female, the value should be 0. Customer gender is male, the value should be 1. Okay, if condition inside select clause. So how will you do that? So just right click and create a new column. Whether you create a new column here or you create a new column on the target table, both are same because you are doing it on target table itself. Click on new column. For example, case flag. So character or numeric. So go to the expression. So here you can click on this one. You can choose case. If you want to write your expression, you can go with that. You want to write a subquery, it is up to you. Okay. Just click on case. What is the operand? What is the operand? Customer gender is the operand. When click on import values. Okay. You will get female. Click on OK. What is the value? 1. Sorry, 0. So this is 1. And you can select one more import values, male. Select value as 1. So indirectly you are writing case when customer gender equal to female, then 0. When customer gender equal to male, then 0. Then 1, sorry. Okay. So if you want to write of your own, you can use new option. You can type the value here, F, followed by the result as 23, whatever it is. Just select this and then I am deleting. Then click on OK. One or more result expression have not specified. What didn't I specify? 0. Here it is 1. Then click on OK. So here case when is written, but here you still see a warning. This should be populated from which column? Customer gender. Just select gender over here and map that to case flag. Alright. So that is pretty much about select sub transformation. Go up. You will be back to SQL join again. Just double click on this. Here you see where clause. This is the sub transformation where you mention join conditions. Customer gender from first table should be mapped with customer ID from second table. Customer ID from first table and customer ID from second table should be joined together. So if they are having same names, they will automatically be taken. When you double click on that, you can see where clause. Here you can see order fact dot customer ID equals to customer dimension dot customer ID.
Okay.
So if they are having different names, so it will look empty like this. Then you need to create new filter, go for operand. You can choose the column, or you want to write case or subqueries, you can do that. You want to write an expression, okay, you go with advanced, it will show you expression builder.
Okay.
Choose columns. I am looking for customer ID from order fact. You can see all the operators, less than, greater than, equal to, between, everything. So as it is join condition, you need to go with equals to from customer table customer ID should be mapped. Okay. So if you want few more conditions, you can click on new again. You can use AND or OR logic, and customer country should be Australia for me. So you can write the expression over here. Just click on this, go to advanced. You can mention the function customer country equal to AU. And then click on OK. So here you should not mention this straight away, because you need to mention that on the right hand side of the expression. You can just mention uppercase of customer country and then click on OK, because you are having operator here, and you can define the hard coded value here straight away using AU in quotes. So here you can see them.
Yes. Okay.
Complete filter condition. Okay. Go up. So you are done with SQL join transformation now. Just try to run this one. Click on debug and then run selected transformation. You try to open this table. You should see only Australian records. 60,000 transactions are done by Australian people. They are male or female. Males.
Flag. Oh,
why both are shown with one? Okay, we might have given ones for both. Let us go to the select transformation and see the expression over there. So this is taking formatted value. So let's give a raw value. Let us try to run this one. Now we should be able to see ones and zeros. Okay.
Yeah.
So male is 1, female is 0.
Yeah.
So this is how you can include case when statements inside select clause of SQL, right?
Yeah.
Any questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So what could be the drawbacks of SQL join? Any guess?
No.
No guess?
Yeah.
Okay. So the drawbacks are, if you have unmatched records, for example, customer ID is not present in customer dimension table, but it is present in customer order fact table.
Okay.
Okay. So those unmatched records, they are simply skipped. Okay, you want them to be tracked. You don't have a mechanism for that, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. That is one drawback. Second drawback, the major drawback is performance. So if you have terabytes of data sets, 2 or 3 terabytes of data set, or at least you forgot about terabytes, gigabytes of data set as well, 4 to 5 GB of table. It takes longer time to pull just customer country from customer dimension table if you go with the traditional SQL join. Yeah. So in order to avoid this, Institute came up with a new transformation called lookup. It doesn't use SQL join. It uses advanced SAS concept called hashing.
Okay.
Okay. Just give me a minute. Bharati is still stuck up in the other session, it seems.
Okay.
So can you try opening that folder that I gave you, that I mailed you, and see whether you are able to access them, the recordings?
Yeah, I opened them actually.
Okay.
I can.
Okay, fine. Okay, so let's see the same stuff, how to do it using lookup transformation. So just drag and drop lookup. So before you actually talk about lookup transformation, you need to be familiar with two terms, source table and lookup table. So lookup is efficient only when you have few columns to pull the data from other table.
Okay.
Like 1 to 2 columns like that. Customer gender and customer country from second table, customer dimension, right?
Yeah.
Then this would be useful. If you have 500 columns, then it doesn't actually give you better results as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So the one that is contributing more number of columns to the target is source table. The table that contributes fewer number of columns when compared to source, that is your lookup table. First table should be source table. The first port should be source table. Second port should be lookup table.
Okay.
Right? So just drag the first table as source and put it onto your first port.
Hi Mahesh. Sorry.
Yeah, hi Bharti. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we covered couple of transformations. Here you see
Okay.
compare, rank, okay, appending, couple of uses of extract transformation. Okay.
Okay.
Now we went ahead with SQL join transformation to join two or more tables.
Okay.
And we are about to see lookup transformation. Okay.
Okay.
So SQL join, just to step back and see what we just discussed within 10 to 15 minutes is SQL join. We saw how to join two tables using SQL join, and you got another transformation called lookup for joining two or more tables.
Okay.
That is lookup. So why SAST Institute came up with lookup transformation is unmatched records cannot be routed to other tables in SQL join transformation, whereas unmatched records can be routed to other tables. They are called error table or exception tables in lookup transformation. That is one. The second difference would be performance. SQL join uses traditional joining techniques. So if your data set is couple of gigabytes, SQL join doesn't give you better performance. Lookup transformation gives you better because it uses advanced hash technique for joining these two tables. And this is also efficient only when you have when you try to pull fewer columns from the lookup table. From the second table, if you are pulling up only less than 10 like that, then this will be useful. If you are trying to pull some 500 columns, it doesn't give you better performance. It will be even worse than SQL join. So that you need to use judiciously, right? So we just started off with dragging and dropping lookup transformation, and we talked about two terms, source table and lookup table. Source table is the one that contributes more number of columns to the target. Lookup table is the table that contributes fewer number of columns than source table. The first table that should be joined to lookup transformation is source table. Here you see when you go near lookup transformation using mouse over, here you can see two blue color tables. First one is source, second one is lookup. That is by default meant. Here you can see the names also. Connect lookup table here. Means that is the second port. The first one is orders. So I am just selecting these orders. Lookup table is customers because I am expecting customer country and customer gender from this table. So this fact table contains numeric attributes. So you got customer ID and you got quantity, total retail price, cost per unit price, all numeric attributes which are related to transactions, right? So as we don't have customer country and customer gender in this table, we are trying to get it from the second dimension table here. Okay, that's the reason we are using joins. Here you are able to see only one target table and two logical tables. Blue color boxes, they are all logical in nature. The reason being why I am telling logical means if you want to make them physical, you need to change the property. It becomes physical. So here you point your cursor, you can see error table here. The second one is exception table. Okay, so all unmatched records can be routed to either error table or exception table or both. This is your target table, lookup target table. Now moving on, I want error as well as exception table to be captured with unmatched records. Just go to the properties of lookup, just double click on that, go to errors pane. Here you can see create error table, create exception table option. So if you check this one, create error table, create exception table, you can choose the columns that you want within error table and exception table. Just click on choose columns. Here you see all the columns from source table are by default routed. If you don't want something, you can just select and then move it to left side. Only these columns will be shown to you on your error table transformation. Clear? Same way in exception table also, which columns you are expecting. Lookup table name, exception condition, exception action. Along with them, I need all the columns from source. So you can just drag and drop the entire table or you can select the columns that you want and then move them to right side, and then you can click on OK. You should get a question, what is the difference between error table and exception table? In terms of English, you can see error means something which cannot be expected can be considered as exception. For example, invalid values are error records. Exceptions means if your quantity is greater than some 20,000, just a minute. Guys, just give me 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so I need to take some call.
Okay.
Yeah. So whether you guys are available or shall we continue tomorrow session?
Anything is fine.
Okay, so it's becoming late for you guys, right? So it's 1:45.
No,
What
almost
time is it?
11.
11.
10:45. Yeah, almost.
Okay. Okay. So maybe you can take some 15 minutes break. Okay, we'll join again on 11 o'clock then.
Okay.
Okay, so we are in the discussion of this. I'm hearing my echo. Chetan, it's from your side.
Let me mute it. One second.
Yeah. So whenever you have questions, you can just unmute and let me know. Yeah. So here we are making these logical tables, error table, exception table are logical in nature. We are making them physical using checking these options. And also, if you want to restrict the number of errors, limit number of errors to, for example, 100. If they are unmatched records which cross 100 in number, then what is the action that you are supposed to take? Whether I want to proceed further or I want to abort the job. Abort the job, abort the step, ignore all remaining errors. So you have these options. So once you make them physical and you try to click on OK and see, you can see them as normal tables, error table and exception work tables. Again, The same story, if you want to make them physical, you can just right click and then go ahead with registration. So you can make them physically available on the physical path or on databases. Now let us see what conditions should be applied for making a particular record routed to error table or exception table. Okay, and also we need to mention the join conditions and all this stuff, right? So let us move on to the properties of work table, target table first. Go to the properties of target table. Here you see columns. You got columns only from source table, and you need to get columns from target table also. Sorry, lookup table also. Customer country and customer gender should be retrieved. So whether you can import that column over here, or at the time of mentioning the properties of lookup transformation also you can mention them. Let us see how to do them while we mention the properties of lookup transformation. Just click on OK. Go to the properties of lookup, just double clicking. Click on lookups. Here you can see all lookup tables that are attached to this transformation. Select the lookup table that you are planning to join. Then click on lookup transformation, lookup properties. Here you see couple of tabs: source to lookup mapping, lookup to target mapping. Source to lookup mapping. So customer ID from source should be mapped to customer ID from lookup table. So here you see lookup table and source table. We are joining these two tables using some keys. So those two keys, they can be of different name or they can be of same name as well. Okay, even though they are same name or different name, it doesn't matter because we are mapping them manually here. And lookup to target mapping. What are the columns that you need to get from lookup table, and you should route them to target table. So just right click on the target portion, because you don't have customer country and customer gender here. Just right click and then click on import. You can either go with new column creation or you can go with import columns if you already have the columns defined in some or the other table in your environment. Typically those columns are with registered tables already. If you are using that as a lookup table, then obviously it should be a registered table. So you can import the column structure from the table. Just click on import columns, go to inventory, or if you are comfortable with folder structure, you can navigate using this folder structure as well. Go to inventory, library, which library or install library, and inside that you can go to customer dimension table. Select this one. What are we looking at? Customer country and customer gender. Select the column and then move that to right side. Then click on OK. So I don't need all these columns. So I need only quantity, total retail price, cost per unit price, and discount. Rest all the columns you can just select using shift key, right click, and then you can delete target columns. You can change the position. Customer country and customer gender should be in first and second positions of the table generally. So you can just select them using shift keys, and then you can use move columns up together. These columns are created, but they are mapped with any column from source. That mapping should be done. Unless it is done, you get missing values in the target table. Just map customer country with customer country, gender with customer gender over here. So this is source to lookup and lookup to target mapping, which is very much important. Click on where clause if you want to mention some other conditions other than source to lookup join condition. Other conditions like the example that we saw in SQL join, I mentioned customer country equal to Australia. So if you want to add those kind of conditions, you can go to where clause, and here you see expression builder. So you can start typing your functions if you are comfortable with codes. Otherwise you can go with functions and then select uppercase function and then populate the variable name and then hard code the value using AU or F or whatever it is. And then the last tab shows you exceptions. This is the location where you mention what should happen when our lookup value is not found. This is what I am telling as unmatched records. If a customer ID is found in order fact transaction table and customer ID is not there in customer dimension table, which is actually a kind of blunder. Customer itself is not there, but he has made transactions. That's what the actual underlying meaning in terms of business is, which is quite not possible. So they are called unmatched records. So they should be routed to error table or exception table. Generally, organizations, they either go with error or exception or both. Okay, you don't have strict rules for defining these particular records should be routed to error or these particular records should be routed to exception, like that. So you can see couple of conditions. So you drop down, you can see couple of conditions. If lookup table is missing or lookup table contains no records, means lookup table is empty, or lookup value is not found. So what should be the action that is to be taken? So if you drill down this action, you can see about the process, add row to error table, add row to exception table. Okay, you can set the column value to target column value to some specific hard coded value, set column values to missing, target column values to missing, or you want to skip the record simply. So couple of actions can be taken as soon as a lookup value is not found, or couple of conditions that you have them here. So I am not interested in routing this, changing this value to missing. I want to route those records to error table as well as exception table. So I can select this one and then click on delete. So I am just mentioning all of them as it is. So if you don't want even these two, you can select them and then delete. Okay, it is up to the requirement. Then you click on OK. So we are done with specifying the exceptions as well. If you look at the code that is auto-generated, it uses advanced SAS technique called hashing. So you might have learned in SAS base programming what is hashing. So this is your hash object. So based on customer ID, you are pulling customer country and customer gender. So this gives you better performance than your traditional join. Then click on OK. Now, whatever is the value that is filtered from where clause, they will be routed to error table or exception table. Yeah, that's the condition that we mentioned. So try to run this lookup transformation now. Run selected transformation. So you got it successfully run. So you can look at the target table first. Here you have only Australian data, 60,320 records. This is the same string that we got from SQL join transformation also. Customer gender, quantity, total retail price, and cost per unit price. So if you go to the last record, you should see only Australia. And rest of Australian records are routed to error table or exception table. The reason being, customer dimension table is filtered out with only Australian records. So the fact table contains non-Australian records which got customer ID in them. So they are considered as unmatched records and they are routed to error table and exception table. So your total order fact table got around 9 lakh odd records. So the remaining strength is routed to error table or exception table. So if you take this 74503 as customer ID and then you try to query it inside customer dimension table. So here you just try to filter based on customer ID. Then click on OK. Here you see it is from Canada. It's not from Australia. Non-Australian record, it is considered as a unmatched record and it is routed to both error table as well as exception table. Both will have the same strength. Here you can see the same record. Any questions, guys? Lookup and SQL join. Here you can see the information. In exception table, you will get more information when compared to error. Here you can see what is the lookup table and what is the exception condition with which this particular record is routed to exception table. Lookup value not found, add row to exception table. That is the action that is taken based on unmatched records. So even these two are highly used transformations in real-time scenarios. What if you got multiple tables that you need to pull the data from? You got customer dimension along with customer country and customer gender. I am looking for product category. Product category can be pulled from some other table here in the star schema. In product dimension table, you have product category. Just right click and then open. Here you can see product category. I want this one. So I need to join this with fact table. Just drag and drop this one. I want to add it to lookup. So if you try to add it, it is prompting you saying that no data port is available. Can't you join more than 2 tables in a lookup transformation? It's not the case. The reason being only 2 ports are given by default. If you want to add another input port, just right click on the transformation, go with ports, add input port. Now you should be able to attach this second lookup table to lookup transformation. You go to the target table, properties, columns. Here you don't see product category. So you can either right click and then import that, or you can do it while you are mentioning the properties of lookup table also. Both are same. Just click on import, go to inventory, library, go to product dimension table directly. Product category and then move that to right side. Then click on OK. So conventionally you place that in the third position and then you click on OK. Now you need to mention the join conditions of product dimension and also the fact table. How will you do that? Just double click on this. Here you should see 2 entries in the lookup tab, one for customers and one for product. Customers, we are already done with that. You need to select products. Select that and then click on lookup properties. Here again the same story. Source to lookup mapping based on product ID from source, product ID from product ID to products should be joined together. Same way, lookup to target. I already imported that column, so you don't need to right click and import further. Product category should be mapped to product category from into target table. You want any where clause conditions, you can just mention them, and also you can write exceptions the same way you wrote it for first lookup table. Then click on OK. So this is how you deal with multiple lookup tables in the same transformation. Then click on OK. Now if you try to run this one, you should see product category also in our target table, which is pulled from product dimension table. So try to open this. Here you should see product category. Now I want to add year ID from time dimension also. It is pretty straightforward now. You can drag and drop one more dimension table from star schema and then link it to lookup. Again it will say no port is available. Go for adding a new port, link it to lookup, go to the third entry, calendar information, click on lookup properties. Here the names are different. Order date should be mapped to date ID. Then the names are different. It will be mentioned to you by your system analyst or whoever be the team that is working on mapping the columns. They will let you know which column should be mapped to which column. Click on lookup to target mapping. Get that year ID from time dimension. Here we are just getting the structure. We are not getting the entire table data. Calendar information. You are expecting only year ID. So select that and then link it with year ID on the lookup table. So this is how you go with third lookup transformation. The same way you can go with n number of lookup tables. Try to run it. Here you can see the year ID. Year ID at the end. I didn't change the position actually. So it is added at the end. Got it? Just a minute. Yeah. Sorry for that. So any questions regarding SQL join versus lookup? Yes, are you comfortable?
Yeah, good at this point, but maybe we need to practice more to it.
Yeah, practice is definitely needed. Otherwise, okay, if you are listening, it seems, yeah, really it's pretty simple. When you start practicing, then you will find much difficulty. You will be getting errors. That's the reason, okay, we will be providing the recordings as well. So you can step by step follow that and then get the results. Okay. So can we continue or are you overloaded? Just let me know, yeah, so that I can stop accordingly.
Continue tomorrow.
Sorry?
Can we continue tomorrow?
Yeah, that's fine then. So tomorrow the agenda would be to start off with the SQL set operator, how to use union, except, intersect set operators, and then we'll see the core concept, SCD type 1 and type 2 changes.